The summer months are here. We are in June, and we have a market update for you. We'll find out what Bill Litton over at Cross Country Mortgage is watching this month and heading into the summer. Welcome in. This is the Smart Mortgage Show. Glad to have you on the channel once again. I'm Ben George with Bill Litton. He's Regional President of Cross Country Mortgage. And Bill, this is episode 100 for the Smart Mortgage Show. Congratulations.
All right. Excellent.
Maybe our editors can drop in some balloons and some confetti or something for us.
I love it. A ticker tape parade behind us.
Nah, we've been doing the show for a few years. It's been great to kind of go through things, and I know we still have a lot to get to, but I wanted to at least highlight the accomplishment, the milestones. I know a lot of people don't get anywhere close to 100 episodes when they start a show and a podcast. So credit to you, Bill, for sticking with it and coming up with creative ideas and content every week to help people with homes and getting into a home and getting a mortgage and just really helping educate people along the way, which is what we do here on the channel and on the show, is to try to help you position yourself best if you're going into home buying, whether you're a first-time home buyer or refinancing. You've done it multiple times. Hopefully this show and the things we talk about here will help you out during that process. And today, Bill, as I mentioned, it's a market update time. We're heading into June. Things, I guess, have kind of not changed in the fact that things are very uncertain. Tariffs, I guess, been paused. There's a lot of tariff talk still. So what are you watching right now as we head into June and here in the summer?
So, interest rates, and when we say interest rates, usually we're talking about 30-year fixed rate mortgages, because those are probably the most, well, not probably, it is the most common, the most used, probably the safest version of a mortgage on a house. So you have adjustable rate mortgages, you have a 15-year mortgage, you have a 10-year option if you want, there's a 20-year option, but 30-year fixed is usually what we're talking about. So, over the past few years, the 30-year fixed has been anywhere between 6.5% and 7.5%. It has stayed in that range, despite some economic indicators that would have led us to a lower rate. But usually there's a lag, right? So now inflation continues to cool. Now the big question is, will the tariffs cause additional inflationary pressures? A lot of people think that will not be an issue. So if inflation continues to cool, usually as inflation comes down, 30-year fixed rate mortgages will also decrease, but there's a 6 to 12 month lag on when those 30-year mortgages will actually come down. So since we've seen inflation start to get into that 2% range, we still have a little bit of a lag before we see those rates come down. But the economic news, the economic indicators are showing inflation continues to cool, as well as GDP revisions, as well as the ADP numbers that came out today. There were expectations that they were going to create, it was something over 100,000 new jobs in the month of May. That number, it was 115,000 new jobs was the forecast for May. It was actually came in at 37,000. So that's a dramatic difference from what the forecast was. So remember, as the economy cools down, interest rates come down. So if we see inflation cooling, economic indicators showing the economy's cooling, typically interest rates will follow suit.
Yeah, something to watch. And again, if you want to sit down with Bill to talk about what rates might be available to you, the process for getting into that home and securing that mortgage, you can always go to smartmortgageshow.com. You can also text the word LEND as well to 21,000 to get on Bill's schedule. But, the other big piece of news I saw, Bill, here recently was that it's now, I guess, technically a buyer's market from what I'm seeing, right? Is home sellers are outnumbering home buyers by a pretty large gap. I think Redfin estimated nearly 500,000 more home sellers than buyers. I don't know how they come up with a number of how they estimate how many people are actually buying. I feel like there's more buyers if the price is right and the mortgage rates are where they want to be. But it's interesting to see that kind of shift in the market from over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so it's taken a while. So it's been a seller's market for years, and nationally we can say that it is technically now a buyer's market, meaning there are more sellers than buyers. But I will say in the area that we predominantly service, which is Delaware County and Chester County, Pennsylvania, so southeastern Pennsylvania, Newcastle County, Delaware, kind of this Rust Belt area. In the areas that we're in, we are still seeing that it's a seller's market right now. Now, there has been a shift, but we are in a little bit different pocket here.
Yeah, and I guess I think that shift will probably go the other way again at some point, right? Where there will be more buyers. I think as people get more comfortable with the higher rates, right? They're starting to be a little more normalized, and you're kind of comfortable with where they're sitting. And again, more and more people don't have the time to just wait out their current home just because they've got such a good deal. So it seems like the number of buyers will only increase, and especially as there's more inventory on the market, it might free up some people to say, you know what, maybe the right house is out there for me now. I should think about actually moving forward with purchasing that new home.
Yeah, I mean, all great points, Ben, and I think that the biggest, most important one is people waited because they were kind of locked into their home with a 3% rate. They did not have a good enough reason to go to 7%. But as time looms on and they're trying to wait out the market and other life pressures start to be more important than the interest rate, it forces their hand. A lot of those people now have their houses on the market. So you see more listings, which is making it shifting that towards being more sellers than buyers, which becomes a buyer's market.
Yeah, very good. And I know the other, I guess, kind of big piece of news this month, and if you already subscribed to our channel, if you've been watching our videos, you're probably already aware of this, but worth mentioning here, Bill, is your new program that you've rolled out at Cross Country Mortgage for people that are looking to purchase a home, something that you offer now that will hopefully increase their chances of getting into that home that they find.
Yeah, because things in our area are still tough. There's still a lot of multiple offer scenarios. There's still a lot of offers that are way over the asking price. So to prepare our buyers to make their offer super strong, our goal is to position you so that your offer is the one that wins. And we're doing a lot more with getting our buyers a mortgage commitment in place. So you're not making an offer with a pre-approval, you're making an offer with a fully underwritten mortgage commitment. The other thing that you're doing is if you're mortgage committed with us, we will offer the seller a $10,000 guarantee that if the loan doesn't close, if it was due to a financing error on our end, we'll pay the seller $10,000. Now, knock on wood, we do a lot to make sure that we will get the loan to settlement. And that's the idea with the $10,000 is we're saying our offer is super strong, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and say, we've done all the work. If you accept our offer, you're going to settlement.
Yeah, check out that video if you haven't already. We got to get into it quite a bit with a local realtor as well. We asked some really good questions about how the process works and how it helps both from an agent's perspective and also the home buyer's perspective. So check that on the channel as well. But we have, look, another half of the year ahead of us, Bill, here in 2025. What is there anything on your radar for the second half of the year or anything that you're kind of looking forward to?
Yeah, well, so we are almost midway, and with the economic data that is currently pointing towards a slowdown, we do think it's a matter of time before the 30-year fixed rate mortgage comes down. So we are looking for that, which is going to bring other opportunities. It's going to make houses more affordable. It's going to allow a lot of our current customers that bought in the last 4 years, it's going to give them an opportunity to refinance into a lower rate. So definitely, if there aren't any new variables and extenuating circumstances, we would be hopeful that rates would come down somewhere towards the end of the year.
All right, very good. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can leave a comment below the video if you have one on your mind, but also feel free to reach out at smartmortgageshow.com. All the contact information is in the show description for you, but you can also text the word LEND to 21,000 to get that free complimentary consultation. Begin talking through, what might be the best fit for you. Let Cross Country get a better understanding of your financial goals and your status and kind of what you're looking for, and that process can kind of go from there. But a lot to look forward to this summer. I'm sure you probably have a couple concerts on your radar as well, Bill. So looking forward to catching up again next month on this.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Definitely looking to get out and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy some shows. And how about yourself? Any good vacations or fun things planned?
Yeah, hoping to maybe we've done one beach trip so far. Hoping to maybe take a second one before the summer is over. Maybe trying to mix it up too and get somewhere away from the beach, but something a little bit different. I don't know. 2 young kids, it makes traveling a little bit more difficult. But we definitely want to try to get away at least once or twice more before the fall rolls around. So we'll see what we can do.
Sounds like a plan. We all need a little downtime.
All got to get away for a little bit. I know mortgages
Amen.
never sleep, though, so we'll let you get back to it. But appreciate your time as always, Bill, and look forward to catching up again soon.
Thanks so much.
This program is for informational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action. Bill Litton is a loan advisor and regional president with Cross Country Mortgage, NMLS number 147060.